Hi there, I don't mean to trespass. Is it a possibility if I could take a photo?
Help
You
yourself.
guys, I appreciate it. You guys are doing great work out here.
Oh yeah. No, you're cutting right.
I first went to Leadville for a day trip with a workshop. I was in the middle of a road trip and I was on this 1-week photo course in June of 2021 when I stumbled upon Aaron. What I thought was going to be a couple of portraits of him and Dave working, it later developed into capturing the story of a man who has a free spirit and a desire to do what he loves.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind showing off. Like I said, I'm an exhibitionist in my turn.
I found myself connecting with Aaron because I admire his independence, to feel free, to have no need to compare himself to someone else, but mostly because he's living on his own terms. At this time, I was finding more connectivity to the road and to sitting down with strangers than I had been feeling in the last 2 years. Those are your kind of goals, to build a house and...
Nah, it wasn't my goal to build a house. It was just get semi-retired.
Yeah.
What it is I just happened to like the town. And the real estate market was such that the only thing that I really wanted to do, the only thing I was able to do was to get a place that was somewhat run down, to be in the downtown area and to get a decent lot.
These orange are cool. They may have to move, but, well, I'm sure they'll have to move. I'll have an engine in the way there.
Have you ever built a truck this size before, or are you just...
I've never built a vehicle, period. I mean, I've had my dune buggies where I'd cut an Oldsmobile up and turn it into a flatbed pickup, but no, I've never built a ground up vehicle, no. I've got taped inside of my helmet.
I see.
So I pull my helmet down and 2 glasses fuck me up.
So that's gonna be some sort of glass or ceramic, probably made in France. The Moreno Glass Company, you know, has been around a really fucking long time.
Oh, this one is likely to be the one full of morphine.
Yeah, I don't think I hurt that bad. Thank you, though.
This was a reasonable deal at the time. I needed a house to live in until I fixed the other one. The money was right. I said, okay, I'll take it. That was part of buying this house, is we knew that everybody in town wanted to know what was going on with it. And everybody from out of town would drive by it and say, that looks interesting. We knew that we would end up having to do tours for whoever rang the doorbell. And that was part of buying the house and came with it.
Oh, and it's a good way to weed out people you don't want at the Armageddon, because if you say, yeah, I live at that big old saloon on Elm across the street from the grill, and they go, really, I've lived here all my life, I didn't know there was anything there. Well, you're not very observant, are you?
So you bought the saloon first.
No.
You bought that house first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I lived in it for, 8 or 9 months, 2 weeks out of every month. And I would go to Texas and bring a load back every 2 weeks. And, you know, I made sure I was in Texas whenever I had business to attend to.
Sure.
And then whenever I had, I was free again, I'd bring another load up here. But, No, I brought everything up here myself.
And initially, I still had a full-time management job that I could need to be there at the drop of a hat. Or they could just randomly give me 5 days off in a row because I had so much like PTO and
Yeah.
stuff accrued.
Yeah.
So I was down there working and watching the cows and stuff so that he could do whatever the hell he wanted to.
Do you
Yeah, no, we got moved up here then and couldn't rent a place that would deal with
Dog.
smokers and dogs and all of that. We were smokers and dogs.
Okay.
And so, that one needed the major remodel. And so, no place to rent. Okay. Mr. Realtor, Miss Realtor, where is something else? And we bought this one then.
You can like see the wallpaper breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, this room, I had to come in here and stick a couple of boards just to salvage the paper for a few more years. Yeah, I think I surprised her with some of the houses I bought because both of them would scare 99% of people off just looking at them and saying, there's so much work involved. And,
Yeah.
I looked at this one, I said, you just need a little cosmetics and services.
So you don't find it necessary to sell a lot of what's in here. I mean, you want to preserve it and
Yeah, well, I will let the odd item go if I've got multiples and it's really a nothing. If there are a dime a dozen out there in the market, I'm not worried about it. And a house is just a house. So I'm not stressed about a house. I can go out and live in the boonies. Many years I dealt with living out in the shed just because I liked it better out there.
So you consider yourself a mountain man?
No, the term I use is a hillbilly.
Why do you use that term?
Because a hillbilly can come from anywhere, but he can deal with all of it. He can, if he needs to go, he'll go out and make dinner out in the yard for whatever. He went out and got out of the woods, and do that to his vehicles, or and doesn't stress the little details.
Because you were born in
Austin.
Austin.
Actually, Grand Prairie, which is between Dallas and Fort Worth. About 4 years old or 3 years old, we got to Austin. And then about 7 or 8 years old, we got out to Liberty Hill outside of town. I was an urban kid until I was like 7. I come from Depression era parents that worked their way up to middle class. We bought the ranch and did the farming thing. And after high school, I went and had a good time with my life. I did some traveling, met people, and had a good time.
And you have a big family, or?
No, I'm down to my brother and sister. She has some boys, but they're not close, and me and my brother are letting the family name die. So, we'll be the last of our Abbotts.
The last of the Benders?
Yeah, our branch at least.
Do you miss the farm or no?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. And
You get worn out on it. It's like the house that needed a total redo, and we had basically redone it, and then it went to shit again. And after you fix the same thing that you've looked at so many years for the third time, you get tired of fucking looking at it.
Yeah.
So, at least this one, I hadn't looked at it before.
Because did you meet Sadie in Texas or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I only got married once. The wife had 5 kids. 2 were out of the house, and I helped with the raising of the 3 there. Of course, well, no, I got to take that back, because I ended up with all of them in my house at one time or another. So, actually, my oldest stepdaughter at one point was a year younger than me.
One more thing goes wrong before I can get out the front door, I'm just gonna end it all. Well, I done fell twice and then got hung up in that thing.
Oh, which truck is it? Oh, yeah, that's it. I was showing off for Sadie one time,
Yeah.
and you see that rail on the back of my truck?
Yeah.
I was walking along on that, and I lost my balance, and I went ahead and jumped, and that dent in the side of the truck is my shoulder. I was loading the truck anyway. I've always been a daredevil balance fool, so I'll walk on anything that's reasonable. I had a reason to be up there, so I might as well play while I'm there. Whoa, get it tight. Dave, I'm trying to forgive some of their faults because you're going to have some of your own faults.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I have faults, but hell, I'm set in my way, so either deal with me or don't. But at least I'll warn you. Okay, well, I call myself the 95% hermit and the 5% exhibitionist just because the largest majority of the time is I'm off in my own little space doing my own little thing or whatever, or, out in the woods or whatever, but I don't need a lot of people around me. Pretty independent, but then every now and then I'll come up with a project that is worthy of showing off to the world. So I'll get out and be social and gregarious and all of that wonderful stuff, and then back to my space when I get done. Okay, Doc Bender is Temporal Bounty Hunter. He is my steampunk persona. The costume is there in the front window. And what it is, I got bored one day, and I was going to make the hat from James Bond that Odd Job throws, his sharpened hat. And when I started building the hat, it didn't turn out that way. I started bolting things to it instead. And after I finished the hat, about 6 months later, I started the vest and, created a persona to go with it. All my life, I've been doing my thing. But, it's just, I won't pop out with a new project until I'm ready with it. There might be years in between me popping out to be, exuberant. What it is, first day I came up here, it was like Wednesday morning, and Main Street had enough business, and the locals were friendly enough and would talk to you, and I'm dressed rather calmly right now. I have much wilder clothes than this, and the locals were, like I said, friendly, and it seemed like everybody would get along with everybody, which is, that's me. So I don't need to fight with you over your politics or anything. So it seemed like a town I could deal with. It is strong on the artist side. There are a very high percentage of them. And the city is accepting of you being an artist out there on the side of your house. So that's part of the attraction of Leadville is, yes, they have city council and city rules and all of that, but, if you want to paint something on your house, just go bug nuts.
And that's exactly what you want to do.
We're doing it lightly right now, but, our colors are wild, but, no, the whole town is wild on colors, so,
Hi, Dave. How are you?
All right, how you doing?
Good.
Right on.
It's a nice morning.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I know. Before we hit some of the rain today,
Yeah, huh?
right?
Yeah.
How's
How you been? Getting
I'm
along?
good. I'm good. I know.
You
It
been
seems.
having a good time?
I know.
have
It
you?
seems like it's been a long time, hasn't it?
Nice, Bender. Nice. Fuck yeah, buddy.
Now, Dave, are you from Leadville?
No, I'm originally from Pennsylvania. My dad moved me out to Wyoming when I was 13 years old on the reservation. And I started roughnecking in the oil field when I was 15 years old. Raised 3 kids, one by blood, a couple of stepchildren. Had a pretty good life.
Yeah. No complaints?
No, not really.
Nothing you didn't do to yourself.
And that,
I know that one.
all my pain's been self-inflicted.
Okay. Who would you say you surround yourself with? Like, who are the kind of people, or how do you like to enjoy your
I
time?
try to find interesting and artistic people. You know, if you can't create or do or even visualize, and you know, your conversation sounds rather limited to me.
Do you have strong political beliefs, you think, or do you have just general right and wrong?
Yeah, that's basically it. I call myself a laughing cynic. I'm just gonna relax and watch the world burn. I've got a couple of years in California. I went to Charleston after Hurricane Hugo. Hung out in Charleston for about a year. Went down to Tampa for 6 months or whatever. Ended up in Virginia and then Ohio for a while, a year and then 3 or 4 years. Then my Army days, I got to do Europe and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
This is back in the 80s, so I came from a whole different Army of today.
Yeah.
In the 80s, it was a totally peacetime, nothing going on.
Kind of like a backpacking trip.
Yeah, you know, these are the Boy Scouts out playing in the woods. So yeah, I come from a different era of the Army, so I don't holler veteran that much. It's surprising to be alive. I have surprised many people when they figured out that I was still alive.
But you can easily say you've lived.
Yes.
There's without a doubt that you don't.
Oh, I am heavily scarred,
But also,
and I mean physically.
but also heavily happy. I mean, there's wisdom and there's happiness and there's joy and there's
Oh, yeah.
lot of things that you've done because you've taken risks.
Oh yeah.
Well, I feel my age here and there, but it is what it is.
Be happy and I'm in as good a shape as I am. It's like this shoulder's basically totally worn out, but
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah, it's not going to.
I only have so many hours a day in it,
Yeah.
in this shoulder.
Well, are there any life mottos you live by, or you like
Everyone
to share?
should find what they like in life and then let it kill them.
Why do you say that?
Because anything that's any fun is gonna kill you sooner or later. And you know, all of my hobby, I do boulder. I go bouldering. I go hiking off in the boonies and climb whatever cliff I come to. And so you know, I'm likely to fall off the dang cliff one day.
So you're going to keep going until you can't go anymore?
No, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but you're going to.
I mean, I hurt fairly well, but I get through it.
It's not worth complaining.
No,
Because complaining,
it doesn't help. It's
only
not going to
gonna-
help anything.
it's only going to slow you down.
Yeah. I don't have time.
Yeah, you're good, man.
This is beautiful. Is it yours?
No, that's mine.
Oh, love this. This is a beautiful little house.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
You restoring it or is it new?
Restoration. It's 1881.
Wow.
So,
Love it.
oh yeah, thank you, thank you.
Anyhow. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, you have a good day.
Oh no, I've just tried to keep my life interesting, and that's because you know you're only going to be here so long. You know, why be boring?